Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business, brought to you by MegaPixx Media. Joining me today is Tim McMillan, who is President and CEO of the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers. Thanks for joining us today, Tim.
Thanks, Mario.
Well, the association today released its federal energy platform in the middle of the federal election campaign. A couple of key areas that CAPP wants to focus on, and it's recovery, renewal, and reconciliation. Let's talk about each one individually. First, recovery. Tim, what are you looking for in this election in terms of recovery and platforms from some of the federal parties?
You know, we put out a platform in the recent federal election and provincial elections as a way to engage with Canadians about issues that we think are important. Coming out of the COVID health crisis, we are most certainly in the post-COVID or still mid-COVID economic crisis. And countries around the world are looking to get investment capital, to create jobs, to restart their economy. So we felt it was important that we put a highlight in our election platform on some of the opportunities the energy sector, as Canada's largest investor, as one of our largest exports and largest employers, the opportunities that we can bring forward to a prospective new government or really elected government here in Canada in the months ahead.
Okay, what about when you're talking about renewal? What are you looking for there?
Obviously, Canada's record on environmental performance is second to none when you look at the top oil and gas producers. We have consistently invested in innovation and technology and improved performance year over year. That is something that, again, we want to engage with Canadians on as they are making decisions about prospective governments. They need to know that their largest industry is certainly committed to the environmental performance that they would expect.
Okay, and the last part, you're focusing on reconciliation, and talk a little bit about that.
Again, we think very topical at this time, and as the election is underway, we're putting forward our best foot when it comes to reconciliation in general, and specifically economic reconciliation. The oil and gas industry has worked very hard to play a positive role. We think there's more work that can be done, and as Canada is looking to be on their front foot, you know, how can we work together, and how can we share some of the experiences we've had, and how can we do things differently or better ourselves? It's something we wanted to make a highlight in our platform.
Oh, right, super. So as we're into this campaign, and it's the election won't be that far off. It's less than a month away now. How important is this election for the oil and gas sector in this country right now?
You know, I think it is a crucially important time for our economy as a whole. That as the whole world has just come through a very similar health and economic event, everybody is looking to raise capital and to reignite their economy. The decisions that our governments will make in the next few months will have dramatic effect over the next couple of years and potentially decades. So I guess we're looking at the Canadian economy as a whole and the role we play in it. But Canadians are increasingly concerned that what we do in the next few months will have substantive effect over the next few years.
And as an association, what do you and the members that you represent, what are they looking for from the federal parties, in terms of supporting this industry? What kind of things would be out there that would be beneficial for the industry?
You know, there's a few things that we highlight specifically. One is that whoever wins the election and forms the next government, that they are very clear about Canada's opportunity and desire for their energy exports to increase and for Canada to play a larger role. That in the past few years, we haven't been as clear on that. And in fact, we've sent some mixed messages. We also make some rather specific recommendations where we see some gaps. One is on the Atlantic Canada tax credit. That was revoked for the energy sector several years ago. We have seen investments going to Norway, to offshore Brazil, and not coming to Atlantic Canada in a way that we think it should be justified by the resource. And the final one would be around the treatment of capital expended in Canada, that we want to be treated fairly with other industries, that there was a accelerated capital taxation treatment for manufacturing and most of the other sectors. Oil and gas was exempted. Ultimately, we think that for Canada to compete and to reach its potential, we need to treat our sector on a level playing field with the others.
Okay, Tim, last question I have for you, and it's more of a general question regarding the industry itself. We all know what happened in late 2014 and into 2015 with the oil prices collapsing and sending the economy, especially in Alberta, on a downward spiral. But can you talk a little bit about what's happening in the industry now? Like there seems to be a few positive things out there right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the foundation of those positives is global demand for both oil and gas is racing back to record levels, expected to be at record levels and growing within the next 18 months. International Energy Agency expects that growth to continue for the next several decades. So Canada, with the resources we have, we think should be playing an increasingly important role on that global scale. We haven't seen the levels of investment that we normally would at this point in the cycle. I think there's several reasons for that, and that's part of the reason we're putting the platform out is how do we get ourselves off on the right foot to play that increasingly important role. That being said, companies are putting out their quarterly reports. They're looking very positive, debts being paid down. We're seeing just good balance sheets coming back in a way that most of us wouldn't have expected this quickly after the challenges of the last couple of years. So it's positive in general.
All right, that's great to know. Thanks a lot, Tim, for joining us today.
Appreciate the opportunity. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. That was Tim McMillan, President and CEO of the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers. This has been Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business, brought to you today by MegaPixx Media.